When you're injured or lose a loved one in an accident, it's the results that matter. And results are what you get with the Brosnahan Law Firm. Whether it's a vehicle accident, wrongful death, or injured child, the Brosnahan Law Firm is the right choice. Call 457-3000.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to From the Dugout here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk Winona Lee Jets baseball with Gary Hepner. Thanks for being here again.
Thanks for having us.
And it's kind of the end of the road for you guys as well. But let's talk about before that, playoffs. Things are kind of exciting for you guys. Tell us what happened in the games leading up to this week.
We finished off the season and then got rolling last week, a week ago Monday, first round of the district playoffs. Lost an opener to Rochester Eagles, which is kind of the Lourdes high school team, 3-1. Well played ball game. Just didn't get enough hits, enough offense. So Spencer Wright pitched a real good ball game, but just didn't get enough support for him. So lost that, and then we had to go into the losers bracket over in Rochester. Won 2 games on Thursday, and then won again on Friday morning, and then had to play a Friday night game and got beat, fell a little short in that one, but finished up the season pretty well. You know, we won that Eau Claire tournament earlier in July, and then played some good games throughout the month of July leading up to the tournament. So we were pretty happy where we were at and where we finished. Unfortunately, you know, we were down a pitcher with Sam Nasak not being able to throw all summer, so that really hurt us. And then Bennett Heffman got a knee injury, had meniscus surgery about 3 weeks ago. So that took another arm out of our rotations. So as the July rolled on, we were a little short-armed, and unfortunately that caught up with us at the end with the pitch count in the tournaments and playing back-to-back games. We just ran out of pitching, but the effort was there all summer. Real proud of the guys with the way they played and the effort they gave, and nothing to hang our heads about.
Okay, you mentioned it, but let's talk about the pitching and how you kind of had to structure your staff. You know, how many starting pitchers did you have? How many relief pitchers did you have? And did you have to try to have your starters go a little bit longer? And is that why you kind of ran out of pitching?
Yeah, basically Spencer Wright, Austin Malinchek, and Parker Nelton were kind of our 3. Grant Buxengard was a starter relief pitcher, so we really, we're probably 3.5 starting pitchers is all we had. So we get into those situations where we'd have 4 games in a couple days, then we'd have to kind of pull somebody that's normally not a starter. Brody Biddle threw a little bit, not really a starter. Sean Mohan, who didn't play any varsity baseball this spring, played basically JV, gave us 21 innings this summer. Just throwing strikes and competing, and that was a big plus for us. We didn't expect that, but yeah, it was tough, and we had to kind of stretch the starters out as the year went on, and July went on a little bit. The pitch count is like 105, so that's your max. Once you get to that, you're done. Come league play, we played that all summer, and then tournaments also. They're pretty strict with the pitch count. So I think we only, in 30 games, I think we only maxed out maybe twice. And like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to develop pitchers, we're trying to save some arms, and a lot of these guys are going off to play college baseball, so it doesn't pay to burn them, earlier in their career when they have a chance to play for another 3-4 more years. So. But it just, at the end, and you'll talk to Jaylen Vaughn here in a little bit. He's a catcher, and he was our #1 catcher all year, and he ended up having to come in and throw the last inning or 2 of our last playoff game just because we expired everybody. We were down to nothing. Had we got through Friday, we would have been okay Saturday because we had our #1 and our #2 coming back off their day's rest because you're required to have 4 days off. So they were good for Saturday, but we just had to get through Friday night, and we just fell a little short. We lost an 11-10 game, so that kind of tells you how it goes. As the tournaments go on, it seems that the runs get higher, and everybody kind of runs out of pitching. So But our last 4 playoff games, we scored 10 runs or more every game. So we hit the ball very well. I don't think anybody really wanted to play us just because of the way we were swinging the bats. I mean, we swung the bat real well Thursday and Friday, and unfortunately, you know, it just got to the pitch number. We kept watching and counting, and you know, this guy was done, this guy was done, this guy was done, and then about the 5th inning, I told Jaylen, I said, you might have to come in and pitch, and that wasn't something he wanted to do, but he was willing to help us out, and you know, he only threw on 1 or 2 innings all summer, so he's not a pitcher. He'll be the first one to tell you he's a catcher. So, but it is what it is, and that's the way it ended up. You know, had we had Sam Nasek and Bennett Heffman full strength, I think we would probably be on the way to the state tournament this week. But sometimes you're just dealt those hands, and that's the way it goes. So, unfortunately.
All right, well, let's talk about your offense. As you mentioned, you were getting hits and you were becoming a dangerous team. Who are some of your players that were kind of stepping up here towards the end of the season?
It was kind of crazy because we had 5 or 6 people that really bumped their average up in the last week, just the way they hit the ball. Matt Reinhardt had a very good week. He went 9 for 14 in the district tournament and was on base just about every time, just swung the bat really, really well. I think he finished well over 300. Jaylen finished over 300. Parker Nelton finished over 300. Cale Brinkman had a good week, swung the bat real well. He finished over 300. Sam Nasek, I think we had 5 or 6 guys over 300, so I think we ended up with a 303 or 308 team batting average. So finishing over 300, you know, for a team is very good. So we had several guys this week that just stepped up and hit the ball. It was just unfortunate. Like I say, the last game we lost, you know, 11-10, we had 6 doubles in the ball game. So you score 10 runs, and you have 6 doubles. You think you're going to win the game,
right.
But we just, you know, like I say, ran out of pitching and got outscored by 1. So that's the way it goes. But no, we swung the bats real well at the end. So I think we told the guys nothing to hang your heads about. You know, be proud of the effort, and you know, 11 of the 14 are eligible to come back next year. So.
Okay.
You know, we could be very strong. Jaylen graduates and is done. Parker Nelton's done, and Ethan Ringo are done. But other than that, everybody else, even the 3 that are going off to college, Brody Biddle, Sam Nasek, and Matt Reinhardt, age-wise, are young enough to come back and play next year if they choose to do that. So, you know, the future's bright. You know, should be pretty solid again next year. So, hopefully they take the things they learned this summer and go with it. We did, you know, schedule-wise. I always schedule, you know, a fairly tough schedule, and we went through the other day and we're looking at our schedule, and we played 5 or 6 teams that are in state tournaments in Wisconsin or Minnesota. So, you know, the schedule's competitive, and you know, our goal is to just make them better, you know, for next year's spring season, for their college careers, and just play good baseball, make them better, and you know, win the games we can. But if I wanted to set a schedule and win 30 games every summer, I could. But
yeah.
I'd rather play good teams, and you know, you might get beat now and then, but good competitive baseball is a lot more fun than, you know, blowing out a bad team. So
Sure. We got about 30 seconds left in the segment. So for next year, if someone's interested in joining the team or trying out for the team, especially if they're a pitcher, how do they get a hold of you, or how do they get a hold of the organization?
we have a Winona Legion website, so they can look on there. You know, we'll post stuff in the spring about the meeting and the organizational meeting, and if they're eligible at the high school or Cotter, basically, they can play, unless they're in the Winona County area. But anybody that's sophomore, junior, senior, even if it's a sophomore who, you know, could play VFW but wants to challenge themselves a little bit, can come out and play Legion. You know, Rochester told us the other day their top 2 sophomores played Legion baseball in the summer because they wanted to get better. They didn't play VFW just because they wanted better competition, which, you know, makes you better. So anybody's eligible. You know, if you're at the high school and enrolled, and love to have you on. Yes, obviously, if you're a pitcher, we'll take you. There's no doubt about that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this season, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break here, and from the dugout, when we come back, Jaylen Vaughn will join us right after this.
When you're injured or lose a loved one in an accident, it's the results that matter. And results are what you get with the Brosnahan Law Firm. Whether it's a vehicle accident, wrongful death, or injured child, the Brosnahan Law Firm is the right choice. Call 457-3000.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
And welcome back to From the Dugout here on HBC TV 25. Jaylen Vaughn now joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about this season. Obviously, Coach Hepner gave us kind of a wrap-up of what happened, but in your estimation and personally for you, how did this season go?
I think the season went well. We had a lot of strong people, a lot of strong hearts to carry us through games that we might have been on the short end of the stick, but we fought through a lot of the games and come out with the win. And just having the mentality to want to play baseball and have fun really helped us a lot.
All right, and you're a catcher and also play infield, I believe, as well. Tell us a little bit about how that worked. I mean, I know Coach Hepner said that Sam Nasak wasn't available, so as a catcher, how do you adapt to maybe playing with or catching some of the pitchers that you haven't caught before, like the Cotter players or somebody else?
Just working in like practice and like just talking, be like, hey, what do you got? How does your ball move? And seeing what they like to go for a pace and what they want to throw for their first pitches and follow-up pitches.
Mm-hmm. And then you had a chance to pitch then. So does your experience as catcher help you at all as a pitcher?
Yes, it does. It helps me find or know where the strike zone is and where I can use that for my advantage.
Okay, and what was that like getting up on the mound and staring down some batters and getting ready to pitch?
Nothing that I haven't done before, but still that eerie feeling in my stomach like, okay, I got the ball now. Let's try to do this.
Okay, and for you, what was it like to have Jaylen on the team?
Oh, it's great. I could pencil him into the lineup. I'd say in the last two seasons, he's caught probably 95% of the games. So he's very solid defensively. Swings a good, left-handed bat, and it was just a pleasure coaching him and a pleasure to be able to write his name in the lineup. I'm already thinking what we're going to do next year in that position. And I mean, there's a couple people coming up that will fill his shoes, but he did a very good job. So it'll be tough shoes to fill, so no question about it. Pitching wise, we'll fill that spot, I suppose. Yeah, I felt bad the other day because it was we're in a 10-10 game or what have you, and he has to come in and throw, which is a lot different when it's a 10-10 game. It could be your final game of your high school Legion career, and instead of being able to go behind the dish where you're comfortable, you have to go out on the mound and throw. So I felt kind of bad having him do it, but he was our only guy left that had any experience pitching. Had been on the hill, not a lot, but at least he had been there before. He was all we had. So, but it was an unfortunate situation that he got thrown into, but he accepted it and did his best, and that's the way he's approached things the last 2 years. So.
Okay. Did that go through your mind at all, or was this just kind of you were approached as it's a game? I got to go out there and pitch. I just got to do my job.
Yeah, but I was also like thinking back to when I did pitch at senior high the last 2 years and at Cotter when I was there for my freshman and sophomore year, and I was just replaying plays and how I did just to follow up at this game.
Okay, and then your baseball career isn't over. You're kind of moving on next year. St. Cloud Tech, I believe, is where you're going to be. How do you prepare yourself for that, to get into a new environment, a whole new bunch of teammates? How do you do that?
Well, I am going to be rooming with one of my good friends that he's a pitcher at JM. So having someone that I know with me to go through this next step of my life will really help me. But it's going to also be some new experiences and hopefully a lot of fun.
All right, and how did you decide on St. Cloud Tech?
I didn't want to go too far away. And then with their baseball program, they have a really good program. Last year, they were 7th ranked nationally in the country for JUCO. And I was like, if I go there, I could maybe be seen by other schools because they do trips down to Florida, Nebraska, and could expand my baseball abilities elsewhere.
All right, well, definitely good luck with that, and congratulations on the season this year, and hopefully we'll hear a lot from you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for joining us this season.
Thanks again, appreciate it.
We're going to take a break here on From the Dugout here on HBC TV 25. We'll talk Chiefs baseball right after this.
When you're injured or lose a loved one in an accident, it's the results that matter. And results are what you get with the Brosnahan Law Firm. Whether it's a vehicle accident, wrongful death, or injured child, the Brosnahan Law Firm is the right choice. Call 457-3000.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
And welcome back to From the Dugout here on HBC TV 25. Time now to focus our attention on Winona Chiefs baseball. Lee Trasinski is here. Thanks for being here again.
No problem.
So you had a pretty exciting weekend in
Yes.
baseball.
Yes.
Let's get into that first, so we make sure that we try to get as much of that information
Yes.
out there as what happened.
Yeah, we had our league playoffs started on last Wednesday, 5-3. Well, a couple clutch hits were the difference. Friday night we won 5-0, and against Rochester, all three games. Austin Lenhart threw easily the best game we've had pitched all year. 9 innings shutout, no walks, 95 pitches. It was very good to see. And then last night we won a 5-2 thriller in 13 innings. It was a total team effort. 4 different pitchers pitched. Very, very clean defense, and Spencer Rudnick was the hitting star, all 5 RBIs. So it was a good win. Get to advance to regionals now.
All right. Now you were telling me in that game it was 2-2 after 4.
Yep.
And then scoreless until the 13th inning. Tell us a little bit about those in-between innings. What happened during those?
Yeah, each team had their chances. Just pitchers making big pitches and defense making the plays. It was, in our league, that's a big difference. All of a sudden, you get one error, and pitcher can't just strike everybody out, and then they get the hit, and all of a sudden you get a big inning. So defense made the plays, and pitchers made pitches.
And then you were saying the Roadrunners pitcher, the starting pitcher went 11
Yes,
innings, right?
yes. I only went 7, so I felt a little John Smoltz, Jack Morris 1991 World Series going there. But yeah, we came out on top, thankfully. Yeah, he had to come out after 11, and their reliever just had a little issue throwing strikes, and then he threw a couple meatballs to us to. And Spencer's bases clearing double was the big key.
All right. I'm surprised you bring up 91 being the Braves fan that you are. So.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah.
All right, well, we'll leave that alone. So we were trying to figure out, or at least I was trying to figure out before we started to tape, what happens next.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that kind of happen this coming weekend. Let's go through that and figure out what's next for the Chiefs.
We now have an 8-team regional with 5 teams from the Twin Rivers and 3 teams from the Classic Cannon Valley League. So we are the 8 seed, so we play 1 seed Red Wing 10 a.m. on Saturday in Cannon Falls. So,
okay, what do you know about Red Wing?
I know they got a couple very good college players from Mankato, and just overall, they were the 1 seed out of our region last year, so I know they're a very strong team. We have not played them yet, so we haven't seen them, but we just know looking at their roster that they're going to be very tough.
Okay, and then no matter the outcome, you still play on Sunday,
Yep.
correct?
Yep, plays against the either Wanamingo or Lake City on Sunday.
Okay, and then from there, it kind of
Yep.
gets a
Yep.
little murky after that.
Yep, double elimination, so if we lose, unfortunately we're done, but otherwise then it's just Saturday, Sunday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just there are many combinations, so but yeah, just keep going. 3 teams out of the 8 make state.
Okay, and then state would be, when would that be?
That's the 17th, I think, is the first day, and then the next 3 weekends after that.
And then where is that held?
I think it's Maple Lake, Dasso, Cokato, and Delano. I'm not sure. It's central Minnesota. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about how the team is now heading into a region play. Is the lineup kind of solidified a little bit more? Do you still have some holes?
Well, just last night we had all but one of our starting 9 there. It was very nice. But I know this weekend we're going to have a couple guys gone, so it's always very in and out. You just always have to play. A lot more of our guys are hitting well. Had some guys that were struggling early on, really coming around. Derek Von der Roos had some very good at-bats after struggling early. So, those type of players, I'm confident that, as long as I don't have to hit, we should have a good lineup.
Okay. Have you had to hit any more since the last time that we talked to you?
Let's see, I just got was the Pine Island game?
Yeah, you had 2 plate appearances, and I think you had walked 1, and you got a base hit, I think, on the second.
And then I did have a hit by pitch and a ground out, so my OPS dropped to 1750. It was very disappointing. Okay. But no, it's just the 4 plate appearances all year, and hopefully that should stay like that.
Okay. As you head into the playoffs, how does your pitching look? Do you expect that you'll be pitching most of that, or?
We got 3-4 guys that I'm very confident saying, hey, you can start a game. I think Austin Leonard, with that performance in the playoffs, really solidified. I believe he will be starting Saturday against Red Wing, and I plan on starting Sunday. But we have 3-4 guys that we are confident in throwing.
Okay, and then bullpen-wise, how are you?
Depends how things go. A couple of those starters will end up being the bullpen because we'll only play 2 games next weekend. So, and we got a couple of relievers who are, Jake French comes in, can throw an inning. Zach Benson can come in, just throw an inning or 2, just from the field straight into the mound. So, I'm pitching depth is not my worry right now.
Offensively, and then defense out in the field. You kind of touched a little bit on that, but who have been some of the players that have been hot lately?
Offensively, Spencer was actually struggling before last night, so it was good to see him. Jake French is ripping the cover off the ball. He's got 5-6 doubles here in the last week, and a homer. Matt Clark coming up here, he's hitting the ball really hard, just running into a lot of bad luck, so I believe that'll turn around soon. And then, Joe Seegers at shortstop, leadoff guy, and solidifies infield defense is amazing. I think he might have 1 error this year. So it's very nice to have a shortstop that you can, if the ball's hit to him or anywhere near him, he's going to make the play. It's very, very helpful.
Well, defensively, the team has been playing really well. I think if I remember the stats right, is like .933 is your team fielding percentage, so not bad at all.
Yeah, just a couple games is kind of really skewing that number. We had a couple major 5-6 error games that will hurt that number some, but no, most of the games we have not had a big issue with that. So.
Okay, and just a couple seconds left in the segment, but just if people want to follow you this weekend, it's at Cannon Falls, correct?
Yep, Cannon Falls, I believe John Birch Park, not at the high school. And and then the second weekend would be Owatonna, if we make it there.
All right, very good. We're going to take a break here on From the Dugout. Matt Clark will join us when we come back right after this.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Mom and I take on some of the nastiest places in our neighborhood.
If the home has good bones, we'll turn them into amazing spaces.
And we're just getting started.
Get out of my way, boys.
Oh my God.
Wow!
It's gorgeous.
Go ahead, toot your own horn. Toot, toot.
All new Good Bones, Tuesday at 9 on HGTV.
And welcome back to From the Dugout. Matt Clark now joins us. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Let's go through your history a little bit because you're a Winona High graduate and you went through all the levels of baseball that you can, VFW Buddies, Winona Lee Jets and now with the Winona Chiefs, as well as college over at Luther. Tell us a little bit about your memories of Winona baseball and maybe some games or things that stand out.
Yeah, so I started out, I guess, big time baseball, I guess you'd call it, with the buddies, and I had Matt O'Brien, Matt Cata for coaches, great guys. It was really kind of my first solid experience representing the city. So that was always fun. We had a great group of guys my age that still get along. We still play ball together. Some are still on Chiefs. Moving on, when we got up to Lee Jets, which was it was more Winona High kids, still a couple from the outside area. But again, we had Winona High coaches, so that was kind of a closer circle. Still representing Winona. Some great games there, actually, in Cannon Falls. I don't remember if it was buddies or if it was the Lee Jets. But we were in Cannon Falls, and I think we put up 12 or 16 runs in the last inning of the game, and we were down by originally 8. So we came back to win it, and that was absolutely amazing. So that was probably one of the best games of my career that I've been a part of. But yeah, then we started town ball 3 years ago. It's been fun. It's definitely been a challenge trying to make sure we have enough talented players to come out and play. And so far, it's been wonderful. We've really had that going. So.
Okay. Lee was saying that you've been hitting the ball really well lately, but unfortunately, it's been 2 players.
Yeah.
So talk us through that and your mindset as you get into the batter's box. You know you're making good contact, you're just not getting on base. So what goes through your head in that situation?
So I started out a little slow. I think when I hit my best is when I'm not really thinking at all. I had, I guess, kind of an awakening from Matt Hemker, actually, and he told me, he said, winning doesn't suck, losing sucks. So it's from that point on, I kind of made it my mission to win each pitch. So on deck, that means I'm getting my timing down. I'm getting my back leg firing. I'm watching the ball. I'm making sure I see the ball. So when I get up there to actually hit, I know what the pitcher's going to throw. I know where it's going to be roughly, and I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. If the pitch is here, I'm going to hammer it. And that's kind of been my thought process. So once he starts his windup, it's when my thinking stops at that point.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what Matt brings to the team.
Some good defensive versatility, plays a lot of center for us, or first base. Just a little team speed. We don't have the fastest team, so he's aggressive on the bases and willing, to get that extra base when we need it. Because we got a little more power this year, but we don't have a ton. So if we can get first to third, and a single will automatically drive him in instead of hoping to score on it from second. So those are the big keys there. Good center fielder and. Just some good speed.
All right. Well, as I was talking to Lee before we started taping here, you said that you're the low seed coming into the playoffs, but all you have to do is get in the playoffs to be able to make some noise. What do the Chiefs have to do to play well against Red Wing and maybe even advance to Sunday and then on to state possibly?
I think right now we gotta stick where we're at. I think everyone's in a good mindset. Again, since we played Pine Island in Stewartville, I think everyone had kind of that same wake-up call. Or not in Stewartville, in Rochester, sorry. But we had that wake-up call that, hey, it's time to go. The regular season, it doesn't matter anymore. We're hot right now, and that's what we need to keep rolling.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for watching from the Dugout here on HBC. We'll see you next time here on TV 25.